Okay, thank you. I didn't even.
We have a guest.
I know, I told him that too.
Okay, so I will try one guess and then I'll see who you have.
Because you always do the time.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Okay, so this will be for, actually, April, would you like to time Mary Alice and I can offer a question?
Okay.
She has experience in that. A couple of times. Okay, so this question will be for Mary Alice. Is there something special about a physical activity you enjoy that makes it an escape? Is there something about a special physical activity that you enjoy that makes it an escape? I like to go for walks in nature. What do you enjoy for a physical activity that allows you to escape?
The first thing that comes to mind is swimming, getting into the water. It is a real escape. Instead of being in air, subject to gravity with your feet on the ground, and any feeling of heaviness goes away. It's wonderful in the water. You are light and free, and I was actually thinking this morning about maybe going to Walden Pond and getting in this afternoon, which is wonderful in the off season. As cold as it is, it makes you feel great when you get out. I guess that's it.
That answers the question. And I hardly agree with you. Diving into the water. And gravity. Okay, so Rob.
We have a guest.
Oh, would you like?
His name is Jim Bernhardt.
Hi, Jim. Would you like to try one of these questions?
Yes, sure.
Okay. You're free to decline because you're a guest. But here's the question: if you were to travel somewhere and you went away somewhere for a long period of time, what would you miss about home? What are things that, like, for me it would be the food, because you get so dependent on the food around here. Like, if you're like, oh, I miss my cheeseburger, what kind of things would you miss if you traveled somewhere and you didn't come home for a little while? What would you miss at home? Do you want to answer that? Come up to the podium. And I should tell you, you're free to answer that question if you like, or you can answer another question that's to fill the answer.
All right.
You might like to answer. Oh.
If I were to travel and be away for a long time, what I would miss the most would be my time with my confidants, my FaceTime. And that's very important to me. It actually very much relaxes me. It's not a meditation, but my blood pressure drops dramatically. It's very good.
Okay. Do we have time for more?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Two or three. Or we can
now.
do some evaluations beyond the evaluation.
Let's see.
Rob.
Okay, I'll do Rob and then we'll work on somewhere else.
Because I am so bashful, I really don't get enough talking in front of
I'm gonna just repeat the first question I asked, is if there's a place in a book or any kind of place, even doesn't have to be a book, it could be a film, and any place you would like to, you've seen or read that you would escape to, what would it be?
Thank you, Brendan. You can clap if you want, if it's really not necessary. I don't know whether I want to be the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. Sometimes I feel that way here at Toastmasters. But I think I'd like to be the Wizard of Oz in the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
I did have an experience once jumping out of an airplane. Now, the first part of that was incredibly frightening, horrifying, because my eyes said, we're not going anywhere. And my body said, we're going to slam into the earth. But then when the parachute came open, Mary Alice, it's the one time you can be in the air, and there is gravity, but the feeling of freedom is indescribable. So I've longed for this experience once again if I could just skip the first part. And I think a hot air balloon, whether I shave my head, Jim, and become the Wizard of Oz, or whether I just do my traditional comb over, which you see before you now, I think a hot air balloon for yours truly. Now, I don't see the green card, and I wonder, as the man behind the scenes, pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Table Topics Master.
Okay, I think that does it. I'll hand over to John. Thank you, John.
Thank you, man. Good job. That was a great job, John. Robert did share with me his favorite place to be, and it's short and sweet, and I smiled and I laughed when you sent this to me here. He said, my favorite place to escape to is my bed. Love it.
So do I.
We are still running a little ahead of schedule, so I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but since I'm Toastmasters, I will. I'm going to call a little bit of an audible, because when Robert said that he was not able to physically do his speech, and I'm like, oh, I knew I was in trouble. So, I don't know. Sometimes these magazines sit on my table for too long, but oh no, this is October 2019 Toastmasters magazine, and I pulled it open just over the weekend, and there's a section in here that I can relate to because I always struggle with it, presentation skills, especially when we're not all as adept at these two right here, as these two right here. But it's 10 tips, and I encourage you, if you get the magazine, pull it out and look at it, because I think it'll be productive for all of us. It's 10 tips for more productive speech practice, and it's called Prep Talk. So I'll just run through the 10 just to jog your mind, and then I won't really elaborate on the essence of 10. But number 1, you want to do these do's and don'ts. So do, practice out loud. Number 2, don't practice in front of mirrors. Number 3, do tell your friends and colleagues what to look for when you rehearse, if you use them. 4, do fuel up on food and sleep. 5, do scrutinize your speech. 6, do pre-check the venue, podium, and microphone. 7, don't trust the person introducing you to do it right. 8, dress for the occasion. 9, don't improvise the Q&A part of your speech. And 10, do know your first and last sentences. So I just thought that was so appropriate, and so I wanted to share that with you guys since we have time. At this point, we are going to call upon